on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Ford of Canada, on behalf of Ford and Mercury dealers from coast to coast. Ahead and participating retailers and record companies in Canada. The Bank of Nova Scotia, with nearly 1,000 branches across Canada to serve you. Molson's, brewers of Molson Export Ale.
If the Boston Bruins want to win the Stanley Cup, we have to win a game in the Montreal Forum. And there's no better way to go back to Boston, even up in games. Offensively, we're going to have to control the puck more, get our shots on net, go for the net. Defensively, we're going to have to control the Montreal forwards as much as possible. Slow them down, make sure they don't get the puck. It's going to be a heck of a game tonight, and if we come out on top, it's going to be one heck of a series.
And so Brad Park and the Boston Bruins must win a game in Montreal. Once again, Stanley Cup fever is running high in the city, with the defending Stanley Cup champion Canadiens seeking their third Cup victory in as many seasons. The excitement of spectacular Guy Lafleur and his colorful teammates grip this great cosmopolitan city, where hockey is king, the Stanley Cup its crown. In a matter of minutes, the Boston Bruins will try to even the series at a game apiece. But before the opening face-off here at the Montreal Forum, let's go back to Saturday night, the series opener, and the Canadiens' 4-1 victory. Boston takes an early lead. A shot by Schmatz is deflected home by Brad Park, and the Bruins score on the power play to lead 1-0. 2 minutes later, Guy Lafleur wins the face-off. Guy Lapointe's shot is knocked down, but Lafleur is there to whip home the rebound. The Canadiens have a power play goal of their own, and it's tied 1-1. Again, Montreal in the first period on the power play. Lemaire to Lafleur. To Lambert, it's deflected home, and the Canadiens lead 2-1. In the second period, Steve Shutt makes it 3-1. A classic play. Jacques Lemaire to a speeding Shutt, who makes the play on the fly and deflects it behind Cheevers up over his shoulder. It's 3-1 Montreal. The only goal of the third period, Doug Jarvis, a lead pass to the roadrunner, Yvan Cournoyer. He makes no mistake, and it's 4-1 Montreal in game one. And now here is our host, Dick Irvin.
Thank you, Dan Kelly, and hello again, everyone. Welcome to our telecast of Game 2 of the 1978 Stanley Cup Finals from the Forum in Montreal. And once again, I welcome viewers in both Canada and the United States through the combined efforts of Hockey Night in Canada and NHL 78. Danny Gallivan will call the play-by-play along with Chico Resch of the New York Islanders. Dan Kelly is my co-host, and Lou Nanne, the general manager of the Minnesota North Stars, will be along to analyze the playoffs and tonight's game. The Bruins admit they were a bit tired in Game 1. The Canadiens agree. Tonight should be a fine show. Our Stanley Cup playoff coverage returns with the opening face-off.
The voice, B.J. Thomas.
Hey, won't you play another somebody done somebody wrong song?
The album, the B.J. Thomas Collection. 26 sensational hits in a giant 2-album set.
And she'd sing, sha-na-na-na-na-na-na, it'll be alright. Deep in the eye of a New York woman, I just can't help believing when she smiles up soft and gentle, with a trace of misty morning and the promise of tomorrow in her eyes. I'm hooked on a feeling.
In the stores now, 2 record sets $6.99, caper cassette $7.99. The 26-hit B.J. Thomas Collection.
We're down at ice level at the Montreal Forum with New York Islander goaltender Chico Resch. Chico, we just want you to tell us about the 2 goaltenders involved tonight, Ken Dryden of the Canadiens and Jerry Cheevers of the Bruins.
Well, as you know, confidence is about 75% of playing goal at this level. Kenny Dryden, he always seems to play well against Boston, so you know he's going to be confident. And Jerry Cheevers, coming off an excellent game on Saturday night, I suspect his confidence will be strong also. And I'm sure he expects a tough game because I've never seen Montreal lose where the goaltender hasn't had to play extremely well.
Mr. Cheevers gave up 4 goals in the 4-1 opening game, and I thought he still played brilliantly.
We were laughing about that before the game. That says something about the team he's playing against when you play well and you give up 4 goals. And of course, he had 4 breakaways in the third period, so that's one thing he's going to have to look for and hopefully do as well.
That's Chico Resch, and now we go to Dick Urban.
Well, the Bruins hope the score will turn out a little differently than Saturday night. Lou Nanny, they'll have to play a little differently. What do you expect?
Well, Dick, I think first of all, we're going to see a much more physical game than we saw in that opening game. I expect the Bruins will take the body more, and I'd have to say that they're going to change their style of checking. Montreal was able to carry the puck over the blue line too much. I anticipate this time they might forecheck with just one man, pick up the wing so that the defenseman can stand up, sort of forcing the Canadians to throw the puck in, letting Cheevers handle it, and that way be able to get back to their own style of play.
Use the body, but you have to catch them to hit them, don't you?
Well, if you're coming back 4 abreast, there's not that much room on the ice, and I think then they can hit them.
Okay, Lou, thank you very much. Chico Resch and Lou Nanny with us throughout this final series. The Canadians and the Bruins now set for Game 2. Up to the broadcast booth, here is Danny Gallivan.
And from Newfoundland to British Columbia. Good evening, everybody, and a warm word of welcome to you hockey fans from Newfoundland to British Columbia and to the viewers of the United States. And we extend this welcome from the broadcast booth from Chico and me. And Chico, all games in the playoffs are important. How about this?
Well, no question, Boston has to win one game in Montreal. And talking to John Cherry and talking to some of the players before the game, they all feel tonight, so it should be a good game.
Roger Doucette, he has become, over the years, a very integral part of the Forum festivities. And for the playoffs, as we mentioned last night, he is here in his just absolutely wonderful attire. And he has been in great voice, and I'm sure he's going to be in great voice tonight. Here he is. Officials for tonight's game. There's Claude Bayshard. He's one of the linesmen. Let's get them all together if we can in the center ice area. They seem to be a bit nervous tonight, Dick, also. Dave Newell, the referee, Bayshard and D'Amico, the linesmen, the Canadians down in the north end defending as we start this hockey game, and Boston defending in the south end. Ken Bryden 1.70 his average in the playoffs. He has given up just 2 goals in the last 3 hockey games. There's Cheevers, an average of 2.92 after his playoff activities in 10 games. And he was a bit of an outstanding performer in the game here on Saturday night, even though the Bruins lost the game. Now it's underway, the second game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Into the corner, and Park cleared it to the point. It's slapped ahead, out it comes, back in it goes. And Boston gets possession on the right side. Milbury shooting it in. Let's see if the Bruins are going to that forechecking style immediately, as they did on Saturday night. But the Canadians start out with Gady working in on that left side. He fired the shot, and Cheevers covers up.
Lou Nanne said just a few moments ago, Chico, that he thought the Bruins would go to the body a bit more. Milbury went in very deep in the Canadian zone, missed his check, and the Bruins were caught with only 1 defenseman back.
Well, that was quite a gamble, but of course, if he hit the Montreal defenseman, it might have set the tempo, might have given his team a lift. And like you say, I think that's maybe what they're going to have to try and do at least, is take the body a little more.
Now here's the attempt that he made, but as Chico says, he missed the check on Bill Nyrop, and the Canadians came out with Gainey making a play.
Montreal, everybody up, and from the face-off, off the corner board, Savard clearing it in. Out over the line, rolled down by Shepard. There's Savard over to Robinson. Off the stick of Middleton. The Bruins moving up, and the Canadians forced to get clear of it back at his own line. Doak off the boards, and Middleton missed it. Robinson, he has great reach and great move. Over to Lemaire. Lemaire going in. He was being checked by Shepard, couldn't get a good shot away. Now Robinson at the point, keeping it in. Racing in, shot now up on the board. Robinson again shoots it. That's a long, weak shot. And Cheevers covering up.
I talked to Jerry before the game, Dan, and he was saying that he intended to be a little more aggressive with his stick, play the puck a little bit more tonight, and he looks very sharp to start with.
Well, Cheevers, you know, he has great mental preparation for a game. And there's going to be a story in Ken McKenzie's Hockey News tomorrow. He loves this idea of the power of positive thinking. My power of positive thinking if I were a goalie. 3 defensemen like Savard, Lapointe, and Robinson.
Yeah.
Now back it goes to Robinson. Oh! No, it's not going to be allowed. The light went on. The light went on, but the referee was there, and he waved it off. There's a shot wide. The light went on. The officials tonight, the minor officials are from Philadelphia, but the referee waved it off, and play continues. Now it's out over the line into the center ice area. Obviously, that hit the goalpost and came right out and did not go across the goal line. Now here's Robinson. Robinson feeding it back in. Lambert, Mondu, and Cournoyer, the forward line for Montreal. Up on the left side into the center ice area for Jonathan. He is forced to go back. Over on the far left side, Milbury into Jonathan. There's the shot. Off right stick.
The puck did not go in the net. It hit the goal post. Larry Robinson let it go. From the Forum in Montreal, this is Stanley Cup 78.
Here they come, the popular Ford Explorers. There's no better time to buy than now during the 11th annual Ford Explorers celebration. Special edition Ford pickups that come with special paint, mag-style wheel covers, and special cab trim. The value adds up as you add on. Pick options like power steering, Cruise-O-Matic. You'll get great value on these tough Ford Explorers. Get down to your Ford or Mercury dealer now, before they're all gone.
Larry Robinson on the Canadiens bench, and early indications, Chico, are he might be in for a pretty good night. Good setup to Lemaire, and then he let the shot go and hit the goalpost.
And of course, the rebound just about went in.
Right.
The announcement was made by Claude Mouton that what the goal judge thought was a goal was not a goal because it hit the goalpost. They always have to make the announcement once the red light goes on. From the face-off, the Bruins, everybody out. No score in this hockey game. Gainey sweeping over to the far side. Knocked off his stick by Rattel. There's Rick Smith, the defenseman, in there rather deeply. In the center ice area, Schmutz. He flicked it into the corner. Cashman coming in from the other side. Lapointe. His pass out goes to the far side. Nyrop over to the other side. Now it's Lapointe down on the right wing. He cleared it in. Bouncing into the corners, Réjean. Pass goes behind the net. Cashman playing it to Rick Smith in the corner. Here is Smith ahead to Cashman into the center ice area. Cashman can handle that puck and stick very well. There's the shot. Wide. Weak shot wide. But Dryden's covering up.
Chico, we had Rick Smith on 2 occasions going in deep in the Canadian zone. We saw Milbury before. I don't know if the Bruins are trying something new here. We're going to see this shot, Chico, that doesn't go in the net.
No question. I guess once the red light goes on, it's difficult to turn it off. Right across the crease, and here you'll see, I thought it was in a second time, but you know, when the goaltender gets breaks like that, the whole team, you kind of feel like, boy, maybe tonight's the night, and I'm sure Jerry is feeling good after that.
Now is Jarvis into the center ice area. Lost it to Rattel with Cashman. Broken up by Réjean. Réjean couldn't get by his man. Here's Gainey with a shot to the side. Now Brad Park getting it into the center ice area. Gainey at the Boston line. Brought it in offside.
Before the game tonight, we asked Boston goaltender Jerry Cheevers what it feels like to be the target for the Canadian shooters.
Well, there's no secret. The Canadians do come out pretty quick in here, and they come upon you quite fast. But a lot of the times in here, I feel we are back.
Face off at the Boston line. 3 minutes and 26 seconds have gone by. This is the opening period. There is no score. There is Schmutz clearing it in. Miller, the rookie, number 14, racing in, tied up by Chartrand, and Chartrand fell. There's a lead pass at center, broken up by Brad Park, and the Bruins clearing it in. There's Robinson in the corner. Robinson starting out. It goes into the center ice area. Risebrough over on the left side. Bouchard bumping with Schmutz. There's Bouchard centering in. Schmutz ahead to Cashman into the center ice area. Cashman's pass broken up by Risebrough. Good back-checking by Risebrough. That line you had for the Canadians. Chartrand, Risebrough, and Bouchard. Robinson upended his man. And a penalty coming up against the Montreal Canadiens for tripping.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Montreal Forum.
15,000 miles of protection, 15,000 miles between oil changes. In one test, cars with new STP motor oil were run to simulate stop-and-go and highway driving. After 15,000 miles, each engine was pulled and inspected. The results, clean parts and virtually no wear. Protection for 15,000 miles. New STP motor oil. That's extra protection.
Available at participating outlets of these stores. CBC covers the Commonwealth Games in Edmonton August 3rd to August 12th.
The Canadians playing short-handed. First penalty of the game. Larry Robinson, there he is. He's in the box for tripping at 4:13.
Shepard, O'Reilly, Middleton, Schmutz, and Park on the power play for the Boston Bruins. Canadians from Montreal defending with Jarvis, Gainey, Lapointe, and Savard. And the Bruins igniting their power play into the center ice area off O'Reilly stuff. Middleton right in front, and he was tied up by Lapointe. Now here's O'Reilly. Into the corner it goes to Shepard. Takes the shot, and it goes off the board, down the board, and it's cleared down the ice by Gainey. A minute and 20 seconds left in the penalty to Robinson, and the Boston Bruins starting out into the center ice area with O'Reilly. He puts on the brakes, takes a look, a feathery pass into Shepard, right in front of the net, and Middleton couldn't pick it up. A shot by Park, and that one went off Dryden. over the glass.
Chico, that play had overtones of the first Boston goal on Saturday night when on the power play they fed it in front of the crease and Brad Park was there. Middleton was there this time as Wayne Cashman looks odd from the Boston bench, the veteran Bruin captain.
I like the way Boston is playing tonight. They seem to be playing with a lot of confidence, and they're holding the puck, and they've worked it well on this power play.
The point into the corner. Here is Shepard. Back to the point. Spots with a good shot. That hit Middleton or Savard in front. Now it is Gainey down on the left side. Off the board. Park broke it up and takes over and leads this power play attack for the Bruins to the right side. Shepard in with O'Reilly. Too many Bruins there, and it was picked up by Uhl and clears it into the center ice area. Good dragging of the puck by Uhl. Now it's shot down the ice and over the line, and Stevens coming up against Lemaire.
Well, Chico, you've done the same thing, I'm sure. You're in the other team's rink. You hang on to the puck and the people flew. Doesn't bother a goaltender, does it?
No, actually, you know that it's upsetting the crowd, and hopefully it's upsetting a team like Montreal who likes to keep the puck flowing. I know it upsets Dan because he likes to keep things flowing. You hate to get a break. But, you know, a play like that, you want a line change because the line had been out there for quite a while, and it was a good opportunity. Here you'll see the puck slip down. And a near miss, that's one thing you have to look for. Playing against Montreal, when you have a man advantage, is they still go for that long breakaway.
Chico, it upsets me because the rule is there, and it says it should be a penalty.
Yeah, well, the rule book doesn't lie.
But they never enforce it. Now back into the center ice area. Exactly 10 seconds left in the penalty. There's Marcotte, and his pass went off LaPointe's leg into the center ice area. Cashman shooting it in front into the slot position, and it's cleared up by LaPointe. Robinson ahead for Lemaire, back to Robinson. Robinson right in front, and a ricochet off McNabb's skate as the penalty coming up for a hooking as Milbury went to the ice rather heavily.
And it comes just seconds after Robinson came back out of the penalty box. This is Stanley Cup 78 from the Forum in Montreal.
What do we do? Well, we told our wives.
You mean work on the boat?
Yeah, work on the boat.
We've got all kinds of time. There's ice in the water.
Oh, we gotta do it now. It'll be gone by the weekend.
Bet?
Yeah.
Loser buys the X.
Okay.
Such a mark.
For years, Roger and the boys have talked about working on the old boats
Why don't we do it tomorrow?
and had second thoughts over a little Molson Export
Boat
Ale.
in the water before this clown's got the deck sanded.
Molson Export Ale. It keeps on tasting great.
Looking the call on the Canadiens' number 15, Réjean Uhl, and we see the reason why. Mike Milbury, the Boston player, involved in the play, so the Bruins, after having a power play chance in which they didn't score, get one right back with Uhl in the penalty box.
It will be McNabb at center, Cashman on the right side, Marcotte on the left wing, and Smots and Shepard back at the point. Jarvis and Gainey up front once again for the Montreal Canadiens with Robinson and Savard on the defense, and here come the Boston Bruins into the center ice area up on the left side. And McNabb has to go back for it. Good forward checking there by Jarvis and Gainey. Now on the right side, there's Smuts. In it goes, and McNabb just failed to pick up that pass from Smuts. Down into the Boston zone again. Here is Smuts to the right side to Cashman. Smuts leading the attack, a four-man Bruin attack in over the line. It's loose to Robinson, and Robinson takes this time and shoots it down the ice. A minute and 12 seconds left in the Réjean Uhl penalty. Cashman racing after it on the right side, but Robinson gets there. Around the net, Robinson to the other side, and it goes to center, and on it is Shepard. Now it's Smuts turning to get away from Risebrough, who is up front killing off the penalty with Lemaire. Canadians doing an excellent penalty-killing job. There's Savard breaking up a pass that's loose at the line. McNabb has it, takes a look, and fires it into the corner. In there goes Robinson, off the glass, comes to the line. Here's Rattel, getting it to Smuts. He shoots it, blocked by Savard. Savard after it. Robinson helping out into the center ice area. Risebrough trying to clear it to the side. Lemaire was in the clear, but Risebrough couldn't get the puck over to him. Now it's Cashman, upended by Lemaire. And the Bruins fans in the crowd react on that. Here's Rattel coming in. He's sandwiched. Risebrough has it at his own line and feeds it down into Boston territory. Cashman is hit by Risebrough. Penalty has expired. Now back is Doak with a long shot. And Savard from the corner playing it up on the left side. Comes to center. Risebrough is bumped solidly by Jonathan. Here's Rattel over to O'Reilly. O'Reilly getting set, and Dryden came out. Here's Rattel centering it. Back to Jonathan. A shot, and it's blocked by Dryden. The Bruins with pressure. Jonathan, shooting it, and a scintillating save by Dryden. Good pressure by Boston. Center right in front. Now here's Doak. Tipping it into the corner to O'Reilly. In front of Rattel. A shot, the rebound. Dryden is down. Here's O'Reilly to Rattel. Right in front. And it's cleared down the ice by Savard. Enormous pressure by the Boston Bruins. Still, no score in the hockey game. That is an icing infraction.
With the score, Boston nothing, Montreal nothing. This is Stanley Cup 78.
Down by the old mill stream, where I first met you, you were 16.
If you have to have a meeting and can't go, a conference call gets different people in different cities together to work out whatever they're working on. Just dial 0. Ask for the conference operator. She sets it all up.
Tune in CBC television this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, for live coverage of the Memorial Golf Tournament from Muirfield, Ohio.
And Don Cherry has to be very satisfied, the coach of the Boston Bruins, with that last offensive effort by Boston. They were much more effective than they were when they had the odd man advantage. Chico?
Well, like I said, they're really controlling the puck. They're taking their time. You know, they're showing a lot of confidence. And, you know, you forget that they were a high-scoring team this year. They scored a lot of goals. They had quite a few 30-goal scores, so they can score if they take their time and don't get intimidated.
And now let us see what happens here. One thing that did happen, Cournoyer moved a bit too quickly, so there'll be another face-off to the right of Dryden. Boston out shooting Montreal 4-3. There is no score. This is the first period. Shepard tried to get it. The point is upended, and Shepard is going to get a penalty. So this will be the first power play opportunity for the Montreal Canadiens.
The Bruins have had 4 shots. 3 of them came in that last flurry after the penalty to Houle had expired. Through almost 4 straight minutes of playing with a man advantage, they did not get a shot. They didn't get a shot. Here's why Shepard is penalized. Chico, you mentioned that play that hit the goalpost. Sometimes something like that can give a team a lift. Likewise, when you kill 4 straight minutes of penalties, that can give your team a lift.
Well, it sure helps. And now the problem is, from a Boston standpoint, they just got some momentum, and now they're a man short, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle it, because as we all know how good Montreal's power play is, and the momentum was going their way, and now it may switch.
And the power play alignment for the Montreal Canadiens will be Lafleur, Lemaire, Lambert, Schutt, and Lapointe. Lafleur and Lapointe are back inside the Canadiens line for this face-off at the Montreal blue line. Marcotte, truly one of the outstanding penalty killers in all of hockey. Number 21, he's on with Jonathan. Doak and Smith, the defensemen, they are moving up. They'll try to stymie the Canadiens here before they can get that great speed of theirs utilized. Now on the left wing at center. The point clearing it in, racing in is Lambert into the corner. There's Schutt following up. Schutt is tied up and knocked to the ice by Smith, and Jonathan cleared it down the ice. 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the penalty to Shepard, and the wave of Canadians coming out, and they don't get very far with Marcotte firing it back in. Now it's Lemaire behind the net, turning with Lapointe. Lambert, Lafleur, and Schutt. Lemaire has it. He's going to rip a shot off the leg of Marcotte, and the ricochet brought about the offside.
Well, out on the ice right now is young Stan Jonathan, who is combining with Marcotte on the penalty-killing role. He's done a little bit of everything for the Bruins. He's in his second year. Don Cherry said a year ago he sort of came out of the blue, had a good rookie season, and a better sophomore campaign.
A minute and 12 seconds left in the penalty. Lemaire over to Lapointe, working in against Milbury. Jeevers clearing it. Down the ice into Canadiens territory. And the Canadiens' power play in the first minute of the penalty has been very anemic. Credit to the Bruins, the way they're killing it off. Now it's at the Boston line. Puck is loose, the shot. Lafleur going to the other side. Here's Milbury taking over. And he clears it down into Canadiens territory. Over it goes to Lapointe at center, over to Lafleur trying to break through there. Jeevers away out of the net. And he's a very active, very alert goaltender. Helps his team very much by his maneuvering. Lapointe dropping it over on the other side. The Canadiens here look on the power play. Now there are 15 seconds left. Lafleur missed the pass into the corner. Brad Clark failed to clear it out. Over it comes above the racetrack. Oh! Here's Gould. Getting it back to Savard. Fakes the shot to Cournoyer. Right in front. And it's batted away. The penalty has expired. Here's Lafleur. Lafleur still with it. Over on the other side to Savard. Savard trying to work in front. A weak shot is wide into the corner. Here is Schmutz getting rid of it. Miller is chasing it. He would be offside if he touches it. There he is offside.
Well, again, a team that didn't do much in a power play had a few more chances after the penalty was over. There's the Bruins. Number 14, Bob Miller, who played hockey collegiately for the University of New Hampshire. He's a Massachusetts product. The Bruins had him moved to Ottawa, played junior in the top Canadian OHA league for a while to get a little bit of that type of experience, and he made the team at training camp this year. He's not even listed on their, was not listed on their training camp roster or in their media guide that he made the club.
The Bruins had a tough break this year with Foster losing him.
Now Brad Park was suffering a bit from what is termed a hazard of the trade. He was nicked.
No score in the first period, and the active Jeevers cleared it on the left side. Boston losing it, and Roberts shooting it in. One of the biggest sports celebrity dinners in all of Canada will be held in Belleville on May the 31st. Bobby Hull will be the host. They're going to have King Clancy and Still Apps and Don Cherry, and that great after-dinner speaker, Red Story. Of course, Red does pretty well before dinner, too. And talking about Belleville, Dave Kerr died the other day.
Yes. I was going to mention that then.
Did you mention it?
No, I was hoping to get a chance.
There's a long lead pass. Mondeau off the right wing board. Draped in on the board. By Doak. On the move. Bumping. Knocked to the ice. And that Wednesday number 18 is a rugged individual. You can see Sharpop out the bench.
And we get the first rhubarb of the night. The Bruins players upset with that call. But it appears as though Boston, after having two straight power play chances, now will be killing a penalty for the second straight tie. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Montreal Forum.
You're about to be welcomed to one of the best hotels in the world. The hotels with the best locations, near the things you need to be near. The hotels with the best system of standards for taking care of you. The hotels that take care of more travelers than anybody else. Holiday Inn welcomes you to some of the best hotels in the world.
2 minutes for boarding at 12 minutes, 6 seconds.
John Wensink of the Bruins has been sent off for boarding. He's not involved in that particular situation, but he is right here. Chartres feels the front of the check, and Wensink is off for 2 minutes. The Canadiens with their second straight power play opportunity. Time of the penalty, 12:06 in this scoreless first period.
Robinson is now up front with Lafleur and Lambert, Lapointe and Savard. There's the shot. There's Chucky from the net. They bang away at it and they struggle for a possession. But the whistle goes.
Well, Chico, the goaltender in that one, seemed to be down and pretty well out of the play. He couldn't have done very much if somebody on the Canadiens had got his stick on that rebound.
No, both Rick Smith and Gary Doak did a good job there. They not only tied up 2 or 3 Montreal players, they also tied up the puck, and you can't ask for much more.
Well, it's rather essential that you have the puck.
It doesn't hurt.
Over on the far side, Schmutz propelling it across the line. Here is Savard tipping it in. He gave it away, actually. Now Smith couldn't clear it out. Lafleur, Smith gets it again. And it's out and down the ice to the Canadiens line. Shepard forechecking. He's up front with Schmutz for Boston. Lambert, Lafleur, Robinson, Lapointe, and Savard. 5 of them coming out into the center ice area across the line. Lambert bumped in on the boards by Park. Here's Lafleur trying to get it in front. Good defensive play by Rick Smith. Here's Smith again. He failed to clear it out. Lapointe takes his shot and it's fired down the ice. Canadiens with a couple of good scoring opportunities on that particular power play rush. Now Cournoyer taking over from Robinson. Cournoyer speeding up on the left side. Into the corner he goes. In there, he gets it. He centered it. No one there. They were in too deeply. Here come the Bruins. Schmutz and Shepard. Shot by Schmutz. The rebound. And Savard very coolly cleared it. Shepard is on it. Canadiens coming up with it. Lapointe over the other side to Cournoyer. Cournoyer getting to Lafleur. Lafleur trying to pass it back. Lapointe takes this shot. And it goes off Park over the glass.
Brad Park gets the credit on that one, Chico. Again, the defense coming to the rescue of Chevers, who was out of position on the play after making the initial stop. Cournoyer and Lafleur do the combining on the play, but the big chance comes. Watch Park 22. The big chance comes here after Chevers goes down, sitting down, and the shot is fired by Cournoyer, and it was deflected by Park.
Now it is Nyrop from the point, off the stick. Where is it? They look for it. Nyrop sees it, gives it to Cournoyer. Nyrop is tied up out on the right side. Marcotte clearing it back. Jonathan has it with 12 seconds left in the penalty. Milbury feeding it into Canadian territory. Exactly 6 minutes left in the opening period. Here's Steve's shot. An excellent move to get into the center ice area. Offside. That was nullified with an offside infraction.
Another Steve shot of the Montreal Canadiens, who was a 60-goal scorer the season before this past one, and this past year scored 49 goals. 109 regular season goals in the past 2 years for Steve Shutt. Chico, different tempo to this hockey game at this stage compared to Saturday night's opener.
Oh, no, I love the way that Boston is under control out there tonight. As comparison to the first game, they seem much tighter, but tonight they seem relaxed, and they just seem to be doing everything the right way, and it looks good if you're a Boston fan.
Now Cashman getting it out. Wensink is out of the penalty box. Robinson on the left side. In it goes off Nyrop's stick. Milbury out to Rattel on the right side to Cashman. He's down to the line. Cashman fired a shot. The rebound. And Wensink missed that one. Jarvis in on the board. Lejeune got clear of it. It's to the Boston line. The veteran Doak being watched carefully by Gainey up on the right side. Kept in by Jarvis. Now Cashman is checked at the line by Jarvis. Rattel has it to pass, and Wensink is offside on that left wing.
Live from the Montreal Forum, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
As nature designed the Tiger, swift, efficient, powerful, not an ounce of excess, so Chrysler designed its 78 outboards. From 4 horsepower through 140, including the new 85, 115, and 140 horsepower Chargers. They're among the most efficient beasts on the water. This year, go with the Tiger. Let a Chrysler turn you loose. Your Chrysler dealer is in the Yellow Pages.
During the upcoming first intermission, meat and potatoes hockey. So get your knives and forks ready. Canadiens General Manager Sam Pollock will be chatting with us, and Dan Kelly will be along with Chico with some highlights from this first period.
And in this first period, with 5 minutes and 7 seconds left, we are still looking for our first goal. Boston to the attack. Good body check by O'Reilly to keep the puck in, and the Canadians starting out. Rick Smith feeding it back into Canadians territory. There's O'Reilly going after LaPointe. Rattel on the other side. Réjean gets clear of it, and it's back into Boston territory. Now O'Reilly up on the left side. Middleton is across the line. The shot kicked out by Dryden. That was a quick, hard shot by number 16, Middleton. There he is again to the other side. Réjean just gets clear of it, and that's the second time the Canadians got rid of the puck without trying to make a play. So that must tell you something about the way Boston is playing at this particular stage. Now, here's Lafleur going in. Lafleur is across the line. He got rid of it without looking, and Park has it for Boston up on the right side to O'Reilly. O'Reilly to McNabb. He dumped it into the corner. In there goes Savard, upended by Middleton. Lafleur gets it ahead, and it goes over the glass. 3:56 left in the opening period.
And you mentioned Dave Kerr. I'm sure old-time fans of both Canada and the United States will recall the name. He was goaltender for the New York Rangers the last time that team won the Stanley Cup back in 1940, won the Vezina Trophy that year. And so Blake told me, not too long ago, he thought Dave Kerr was perhaps the first exponent of goaltending cutting off the angle, moving out, challenging the shooter. He was a fine goaltender, passed away late last week.
Robinson ahead to shot. Here is shot with Lafleur moving up on the play. The Bruins break it up again in the center ice area. Now a lead pass for Smuts. He's over the line, trying to get it out past Robinson. To the other side on the left side. Shot over for Lafleur. Bouncing into Boston territory, dropping it back. Here's Robinson trying to keep it in. Robinson into the corner to shot. Shot takes a look, out it goes to Lemaire. Oh! A scintillating save there by Cheevers. Point blank range, bullet drive by number 25, Lemaire. And Cheevers came up with the save of the series, I would think. We're going to get another look at that. Now it's back into the center ice area. Park's pass finally goes to Shepard. There's a shot. And the rebound to Savard. Canadians out shooting Boston 8-7. There's a lead pass for Rysbrough. Rysbrough shooting it. And he was away wide. Canadians getting a partial break there. Here's Cournoyer. Cournoyer over in front. Mondeau couldn't deflect it into the open side of the net. Now here's Mondeau. Into the corner to Rysbrough. Rysbrough getting it back, and it goes by Savard. And it's down the ice. The Canadians getting some glorious scoring opportunities at this particular juncture in the game. Now Savard. Back into his own zone to Robinson. Robinson gets it to center. Pouncing on it was Rick Smith. Over it goes to Marcotte. He scooped it in. There's Cashman, number 12, going in. Robinson shot off the boards, goes to the Boston line. Long pass Park to Marcotte. Miller is upended. There's Cashman. He couldn't come up with it. Robinson tried a headman it to Rysbrough. Smith broke it up to Marcotte. Marcotte fired it against Savard. Could be offside. Here's some good scoring opportunities down there in the Boston zone for the Montreal Canadiens to play.
Boston has a lot going for them tonight. Of course, they got the lady by the name of Luck going for them, and they also have a hot goaltender, Jerry Cheevers. He made an excellent save there, and Dick was just talking about the goaltender coming out to cut off the angle. Now, and you'll see it here. Now, Jerry's back in the crease, but he sees the guy's right in the slot, and he moves out there and made just an excellent save, and like you say, probably the best save of the series, especially with the score tied 0-0 in a crucial game like tonight.
No goalie likes to see a player looking him squarely into the eyes, in particular if that player is Lemaire. He can shoot him. There's O'Reilly. O'Reilly making a neat move in the corner. He falls. LaPointe trying to get out. He can't. O'Reilly's still with it. Rattel takes the shot. The rebound right in front of the net. A scramble. A penalty coming up. A wild pile-up. And the whistle finally goes. And there will be a holding penalty against the Montreal Canadiens. And Rattel was very, very dangerous there.
Well, we talked about the old man on the Canadiens the other night, Yvon Cournoyer, and I think Jean Rattel is just playing. I don't see how he can play any better. I watched the series against Philadelphia, and watch him here, how he takes his time. He doesn't panic. He kicks the puck back. He just handling the puck so well in traffic. And there it's still loose. And I couldn't tell what the penalty was. There were so many bodies flying. I'm sure it was probably a holding.
Myra, 2 minutes for holding at 18 minutes 46 seconds.
I would say that would be classified as a good penalty.
I would think so, because when he committed the infraction, he must have felt, Boston is going to score.
I know the feeling.
So Scotty Bowman has to be a bit worried here. Here's Park faking a pass. He takes the shot, and it went off Jarvis to stick to the corner. There's Shepard. Hemmed in on the boards by Gainey. The Bruins coming up with it. Rattel giving it to O'Reilly, to Jonathan. Rattel is getting in front. Back it goes to Shepard. Shepard into O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to get into the slot. Over on the other side to Shepard. O'Reilly winds up for the shot. Couldn't get much on it. He was checked by Gainey. Savard trying to clear it out. And the Bruins have the Canadiens hemmed in on this power play until that second there. LaPointe shot it down the ice. Jonathan is going to get a penalty for roughing up LaPointe in the corner. 17 for the Boston Bruins. Jonathan.
Well, that happened behind the play, and I wasn't sure why Stan Jonathan would take a hit like that at this stage of the game, although here we'll see it on the replay. And actually, it's more or less a bump, and, well, he does get a stick up there a little bit. I think, again, it was a good call. Earlier, the two of them had been tussling in front of the goal, and that sometimes makes for bad feelings. And then when a person sees that he can take a good shot at the player who had just been giving him a tough time, he'll do it, and I think that was the case there.
There are just 29 seconds left in the opening period as we look at Jonathan in the penalty box for Boston. Here is the struggle. Jarvis and Rattel. There, a replay of his excellent scoring opportunity. A lot of phalanx of bodies in there. I've never seen so many bodies on the ice in front of a goalie. You probably have, because you're a goaltender.
A few times, yes.
So they're playing five aside. Lemaire will face off against Marcotte. We have Robinson and LaPointe back at the points. They are poised for shots should the face-off go back. In fact, Lemaire tried to get a shot on goal. He fanned on it. And here's Brad Park. His pass is knocked down by Lafleur. Lafleur into Lemaire. Lemaire over, and it goes in behind Robinson. Here's Lafleur in for Robinson. Robinson behind the net, trying to swing it in front. It goes to the left side. Boston taking over with Schmutz into the center ice area. Here's Marcotte back to Schmutz. Just 2 seconds, and that's going to be the period. Schmutz and LaPointe went in there rather vigorously in the corner. And they're having some words down there to the right of the Canadiens' goal. So, playing five aside, the period ends. No scoring to report. The shots on goal. Montreal Canadiens 8 and the Boston Bruins 8. Each team had a couple of scoring opportunities.
Yes, I would say a real ego builder for Boston.
And so the score at the end of the first period, Boston nothing, Montreal nothing.